That's a great question, and a lot of pieces and parts to think about. It's interesting. I'm a little bit contrarian sometimes, and there is a part of me, especially when I was in graduate school, there was like that big go big, go big, go big, and I feel that. I think there is a place to make large work, but I also like work that is intimate. So I was talking to someone in my studio just last week. They've seen the new pieces I have at Mount Sinai, which are, 55 inches by almost 120 inches. So they're fairly large scale. Some of them have different components, they get bigger. But then they were looking at these small drawings I did when I was abroad this summer. And it was a little hard to transition from making these big works that really engage my body to making these small little drawings. But I started to think about in that kind of transition, it's like, I know I can bring people in with a large piece. I can put it on the wall. It will be very bold. It'll be very dynamic, but can I do the same thing at a small scale? And I think in some regards, that's been at the heart of my practice, is like, I really do like considering intimate moments between me and the viewer. And I think printmaking and drawing can do that so well. But also there are constraints. I have to be really honest. I have been, throughout most of my career, I have been a professor slash artist slash professor, however you want to think about it. So time is one constraint. So I have oftentimes gravitated towards smaller pieces because I know I could get something done with something that's smaller when my time is limited. And there are the restraints of a technology and equipment. My first Epson printer was really small. It was, the 8.5 by 11 inches. Then I graduated up to an Epson printer that I had for 15 years and just recently gave up the ghost. And that one would print 17 inches. So that allowed me to grow and scale. The one I have now prints 24 inches. And so there was that kind of limitation of that. But even, there, as you're kind of saying, there's ways to work around. So oftentimes I think more in terms of grids and installation, a grouping of works, like, again, like the work behind me. So it's still small and intimate, but it starts to feel larger. And I think those kind of things have guided my practice in a lot of ways. As I've been working with textiles, that's where I really, and again, back to talking about my family and sewing, as I've started printing imagery onto fabric, that's where I really have gone into stitching and construction. So the smaller, the 24-inch print, I've been stitching those together to make sculptures or to place them within the kind of hybrid painting drawing things that I've been doing that allows the scale to get bigger without getting a larger inkjet printer.